Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is very different. I never thought I'd have to do a video like this, but I can't keep it quiet anymore. So where have I been? Quite a lot has been happening lately. Well, this year's just been complete manic. I'd firstly like to say I'm really sorry that it's taken me so long to do another video. I can explain exactly what happened and I hope that you'll understand why I hadn't been active. But I just want to get right into this video and just be done with it. I will put a little disclaimer out there that this video does mention the death of a child, so please, if you're easily grossed out or just don't like the thought of the subject, I strongly suggest you click out this video now. But anyone that does continue to watch this video, thank you for staying with me throughout this. I'm just going to get into it. So, a lot of you won't know that you were pregnant. I found out I was pregnant in October, and when we worked out, it turned out that we conceived on the night of our wedding. It wasn't really planned, but we were over the moon anyway, and everything was going fine. No, I didn't get any morning sickness again, which was lovely. I had a lot more backache than usual, and I found that it got worse, but I just don't know if it was because of the epidural I had with my first baby and it just took its toll, or it was just the fact that I was getting bigger and it was just putting pressure on my back. I was going to vlog my pregnancy, and sadly something else come up. So everything was fine, everything's good. We didn't find out the gender until the end because I like the surprise. And we had another little girl. We named her Eva. Everything was going good until I hit 37 weeks, and that's when I was considered full term. I go for a scan because a couple of weeks before I was told I had too much anatomic fluid in me. So I went for this scan just to make sure everything was fine, and thankfully the fluid had gone down a bit. And at the scan the woman said that my baby was healthy, she had a really good heartbeat, so I was over the moon about that. The consultant I spoke to said that by the time I'd hit 40 weeks and my baby hadn't arrived, they would induce me. I don't know why. He said something about getting me off the Clexane injections, but he didn't actually say why he wanted me off them. So yeah, all fine and dandy. So that was on a Monday, that scan. I was 37 weeks. And it was a couple of days later. I didn't feel as much movement. And at that point I wasn't concerned because with my first baby, you know, I didn't notice any changes, and if the kicks weren't as strong, you know, I'd been all through it before, so it didn't really concern me. The Thursday comes round, and this all happens in June, by the way. The Thursday comes round and I still hadn't really felt a lot. I think I'd still got a few movements, but I wasn't really sure. And again, I wasn't concerned. I didn't get any pain. You know, I thought at one point I was in the start of labour because I started getting cramping under my belly. But I just thought that was natural. Just thought, you know, oh, maybe it's getting ready for it. I kept saying to myself, I'll see how it goes. If it still hasn't improved, or if I haven't felt it much still, then I'll definitely go in. So Friday morning comes round, and I just remember feeling like I haven't felt her yet. So I put my hand on my belly, because usually when I do that she moves, and I didn't feel anything. And usually to get her to move, I always used to play the song The Sound of Silence by Disturbed. I played that. I played it right next to her on loud. Still nothing. At this point I was getting really worried. So I ended up calling the midwife, and she said, you know, come in straight away to be monitored. So then my mum came with me and I brought my daughter with me. We went in to be monitored. They had a bit of trouble finding her on the monitor. They couldn't hear anything. They said that sometimes it's a bit hard to pick it up, mainly because I had a lot of flesh basically. So then this sonographer brings in the scanning machine, a portable one, tries to find something, couldn't find anything on that, so I then get brought into the big scan room. And at this point I really started to feel worried. I just knew it wasn't going to be good. And he puts the thing on, you know, looking around, and I could see the look in his eyes, and I just knew something bad was coming my way. It was precisely at that moment he looked at me. I'm sorry. He looked at me and he just said, I'm sorry, there's no heartbeat. At first I couldn't take it in. I had to ask him what he actually meant, as silly as that sounds. And I just remember saying to him, my baby's not alive anymore. And he said, I'm really sorry. Sorry guys. He just said sorry but no. I'll tell you something, I never thought some words like that would ever haunt me for the rest of my life. And it was so quiet in that room, you could probably hear a pin drop. I just instantly remember breaking down. My mum come rushing over to me, give me a big hug, saying how sorry she was. I just remember sitting on the bed just in shock. I just didn't understand. You know, a few days before she'd been absolutely fine, there was nothing wrong with her. No. And now just a couple of days later, she was gone. Nothing, just gone. So the same day, a few hours later, the consultant come up to me and obviously said sorry for what happened and everything, and he said that I could either choose to keep the baby inside my stomach for a couple of days and take a tablet that would take 48 hours to kick in, labour sort of thing, or I could come back that same day and just be induced. And I couldn't bear the thought of carrying a dead baby inside me, so I just said there and then, I'll get induced today. I just want the baby out. I just wanted her to prove the hospital wrong. Sadly, they were right. Leaving that hospital was the most heartbreaking thing I've ever had to do. You go in there, you expect to come out with a baby in your arms, and instead I had absolutely nothing. And it was really weird. I remember on the way out, you know, it was a couple of hours after having her, they said I was really good, so I was good to go. I remember getting in the lift. I remember seeing this pregnant girl, and I tried so hard to keep them tears in. It was absolutely horrible. And I just remember her, she wouldn't look at me. And we got to the bottom, the doors open, and I offered for her to go. And she said, she said no after you, and I could see she was starting to cry. She knew. I don't know how she knew. But she was holding her bump. And I just remember feeling shocked that she knew. You know, I don't know if it was the way I was walking, the way I'd just been so upset. You know, I had nothing on me that reminded anyone of a baby, you know, I just walked out normally. But she knew. You know, isn't it weird how mums just naturally pick up things like this? And I just remember people looking at me, you know, and I don't know if they knew as well with that girl. And I hope she ended up having a really healthy baby. She just knew. It was so weird. So weird. Even still today, I see pregnant women and newborn babies, and I try so hard to hold back the tears with a smile as well. If I see a newborn baby, I have to quickly walk away because, you know, my baby's always newborn. I haven't been able to hold another newborn apart from my niece after losing Eva, because it just feels too similar, you know. It's weird holding an alive child after a dead child, you know, and every time I hold my niece, my beautiful niece, I always think of Eva, and deep inside I always just want to grow up because this should be her I'm holding to. You know? It should be her I'm holding. So I got all my stuff together. My daughter went to stay with her nanny and granddad. Me and my husband come to the hospital together. Oh, I forgot to say, first I told my husband, he didn't know at the time. I told him he had to come up. And I'll never forget his face. The minute he walked through the door, he looked at me, he just knew. And he actually, for God's sake, he collapsed to the ground. And I just remember him just bursting into tears. It was the most horrific thing I've ever seen. You know, my husband is so strong, but I swear I'm at his weakest. And it wasn't nice. Just hugged. And then a few hours later we'd come back to start the induction. The nurse had given me, I think it was called a pessary tablet, which basically induces labour. And funny enough, I'd had that the first time with my other baby. So yeah, that had been inserted, had to wait, she'd check on me every half hour sort of thing. And I started getting some tightenings, and I just remember looking at my belly, just, you know, praying that she was still alright. And I thought I kept feeling movements, but it just, I think it was just my stomach tightening, you know, getting ready for contractions. And I just remember staying up the whole night, just so upset. A few hours had passed and I'd just been getting a bit of pain but nothing much, and so it was time to take the second pessary tablet just to see if it worked, and that all went in. And it was about a couple of hours later I started to get really strong contractions. I managed to go a couple of hours without gas and air. It started to get really, really intense. I found the contractions were a lot more painful this time round, and I just remember pacing around the room, getting really, really strong. I hadn't had anything at this point, and after every contraction I just awarded myself with a cup of water sort of thing, just to keep myself going. I remember them getting even stronger, the point where I actually had to have gas and air. And I remember having the pethidine injection as well. Like they said, it would take the edge off the contractions a little bit so it wouldn't be so painful. Precisely 8:15 in the morning on the 9th of June. My little girl was born. Every woman always feels relief once they hear that cry. I never heard that cry. And hearing nothing but silence was the most hardest thing I've ever had to endure. I just wanted her to wake up. I kept saying to her, please wake up, please wake up. I even at one point wanted to ask the nurses if she can be revived. Whenever I saw her face, I knew it was way too late. She couldn't be brought back. When I looked at her, I could just tell she'd passed away a couple of days before, I think, or a good day before. I just didn't know. I didn't know. She was the most beautiful little girl. She looked exactly like her big sister. She had beautiful blue eyes. She had my little button nose. She had my lips. She had beautiful dark hair. She had a full head of hair just like her sister did. She was £6 10 ounces and 50 centimetres long. She was the easiest birth I've had so far, and I managed to have her naturally, which I'm so pleased about. I really didn't want another C-section. I just kept looking at her, just expecting her to wake up. She literally looked like she was just sleeping. She never did wake up. So we decided to call her Eva. I think I've already said that before. We called her Eva, Beryl, Susan, Ollie. It was really, really hard. It was even more harder when I saw my dad turn up. And my dad is the strongest one of all. Like, he's even stronger than my husband. The minute we walked in, and he looked at her. And he just broke down completely. Seeing him upset broke my heart. I'm sorry if you can hear background noise. I live in quite a noisy area at the moment. Seeing him cry just completely broke my heart, you know, and it just kept saying, I'm so sorry. I was so thankful for the hospital. They were so supportive. I couldn't thank them anymore. They brought in a cold cot so we'd be able to spend more time with her, which was absolutely lovely. I just remember feeling so awful. I felt like a terrible mum. I felt like I didn't cuddle her enough. Every time we tried to make memories, I just broke down. I couldn't even put clothes on her. I was just so numb still. It was just so horrible. We had a full post-mortem on her as well, and I'll get into that in a minute. A few weeks later we had her funeral. I never once thought I'd ever have to say goodbye to my own child. I never thought my child would die before me, and I strongly wish it was the other way around, just so she had a chance, you know. The funeral we had for her was absolutely amazing. As sad as it was, my husband carried her in her little box. We walked into the song A Mother's Prayer by Celine Dion, which was absolutely amazing. It was so nice. She had quite a lot of people come to it from our family. It was our immediate family. Brought her flowers. My mum, bless her, actually managed to write her own poem in front of everybody and actually read it without breaking down, so I was quite proud of her for that, and the way she said it was so amazing. After the service they played a song that we chose, and we had This Is Not Goodbye by the Sidewalk Prophets. That was for the way out. I just remember looking at her box and then seeing the curtains close. That was hard, only because I know that was the last goodbye. But we had a funeral on the 11th of July. Oh God, it was so hard. So hard. And I regret not cuddling her enough. I just wish I could do more, you know. But you always regret something later on anyway. We had her cremated. I didn't like the thought of her being in the cold hard ground all alone. She's in our home, she's with us, she's in the warm, and I can cuddle her as much as I want. I just never thought, you know, a box could be so small. It really didn't. And considering that she'd been dead for all that time, she hardly deteriorated at all. She was absolutely perfect, absolutely perfect. I tell you what, she was just perfect the whole time, and I was thankful for the extra time he had. I got to cuddle her every time he went to the mortuary. You know, she just always looked asleep and she didn't look in pain. So I'm thankful about that. But it's, depending on when I put up this video, so far it's been 12 weeks since we lost her. And it feels like yesterday. I'll never ever forget it. I now know that my pregnancies will never be the same again. I'll always be anxious. My one regret was just not going in sooner. But I just didn't feel concerned, and when I was concerned, I was too late. I can't stress enough to you ladies, and please just feel, I'm basically just trying to raise awareness on this, but if you ever have any reduced movements, please get checked out as soon as possible. I made that mistake of not going in sooner, and I paid for it by losing my baby. I don't want that to happen to anyone else. So the post-mortem results come back, and they said to me there was no definitive cause of death exactly, but she basically died from fetal maternal hemorrhage. They said that they don't know how it happened, it could have just happened. She was also asphyxiated because all the blood went to her brain, so obviously she starved of oxygen. And she was also chronically anemic, which I didn't know about. I was anemic at the time, but they said my anemia had nothing to do with it. She just picked it up. And sadly, she completely bled out. By the time she was born, she had no blood left in her body. As horrible as it is, I find comfort knowing that I absorbed all her blood, because her blood went into my system, so technically she's always still with me. She's forever with me. They also found lots of meconium in her system, where she basically pooed in my womb and swallowed it, so she had an infection as well. But the main cause was a fetal maternal hemorrhage and asphyxiation. They told me that she had really chubby cheeks when she was born, or when she was alive, sorry. But yeah, I keep getting told not to blame myself, but I can't help but blame myself, you know. They don't know why it happened, and I don't know why, but I keep thinking of the what ifs, you know. I think, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done this. So I just constantly keep blaming myself. I don't know. I just couldn't save my baby. I couldn't save her. And I keep getting horrible visions that she was awake when it happened and she was struggling. And I pray to God she was just asleep when it happened. I'd never forgive myself if I knew she was in pain. They said what happened to me was a very, very rare case. Apparently it only happens in 3% of pregnancies in 1,000 births or something like that, so it's really rare. They also said that my hemorrhage was the worst they've ever had to deal with, and I'm quite thankful, because at the time I was still on blood thinners, and I also found out that if I'd stopped taking my blood thinners I would have gone into cardiac arrest and died. So I'm still quite thankful to be here, even though I just wish she was here as well. So most of you are probably going to wonder how I'm feeling now. To be honest, it's gotten a little easier to get through. I mean, it's still the most horrific thing I've ever had to go through. I found quite a lot of people haven't really been talking to us anymore. If I see someone I know, they walk away. I've only had a handful of people really that have stuck by me and still talk to me, you know, ask how we're doing. But no one talks to us anymore, you know. I always feel people staring at me, you know. When they stare at me, I hear them say, oh, that's the woman that lost her baby. It's sad, isn't it? I don't want to be that person. Thankfully, my amazing daughter has actually been keeping me going. To be honest, if I didn't have her, I don't know where I'd be right now. I probably wouldn't even be alive. You know, the children are my life, and I can't live without them. But I have to be strong for the other one. But yeah, no one talks to us anymore. I feel so alone. Thankfully we have each other, and my family have just been amazing. I can't thank them enough. They really have helped. I still have my moments where I just have to hold her little box and just cry. Any little thing remind me of her. I never ever stop thinking about her. She's always on my mind. I just wish stillbirth wasn't such a taboo still. And sadly, it's more common than you actually think. I didn't think it was a big deal until it happened to me. And if I'm brutally honest, I was, you know, it's sad losing or when someone loses a child, but when it happens to you, the difference is so... I can't even explain it, you know. Or the experience is just somewhat different. You just don't expect it. And I just wish it wasn't like people just didn't have a problem with it. I don't know if I'm going to share any pictures of her on here yet. I might do eventually, but for now I just want to, you know, just talk about her. If anyone does want to see what she looks like, then that's absolutely fine. I was thinking about making an actual video of her birth to look back on, and so she's not forgotten, even though she never would be anyway. But that might be another video that I do if I ever decide to do it. But if you would like to, let me know. I'm not sure if many people of you know, but the 9th to the 15th of October is baby loss awareness, and this video is to raise awareness and to let you know what I've been going through. And babies that have passed away shouldn't be forgotten. You know, it's a horrible, touchy subject, but especially my baby, okay, she was stillborn, but she was still born. You know, she still existed. She had a life, even though she never got to live it, and she shouldn't be forgotten about. A lot of people put the memories of the babies way behind them, but I can't do that. So I'm just here to raise awareness, you know. I've been trying to do little bits to make her proud of me, which I hope she is. I've been knitting baby hats, which I'm going to be donating to the hospital. I'm going to hopefully do some fundraisers to raise money for charity. One of the charities I want to do is the For Louis charity. They give away memory boxes for parents that have lost babies, and it's an amazing thing. They put a bear in there, or 2 bears in there, one for you and one for the baby to keep so you're never apart. And we're going to be putting her ashes in that bear. And they just put like little memory bits in there, and it's absolutely fantastic. And you know, I just think that if I donate money to them, it will help them to bring more memory boxes, even though I hope they never get used. And another thing I would love to do is to raise more money to be able to donate to the hospital for them to buy more cold cots, because I read that a lot of hospitals don't actually have them, and sometimes, you know, it's just nice, although it's horrible, to let the parents spend more time with that baby. So that's what I would like to do, and I will be setting up a crowdfunding page soon. And I just, you know, I want to make my baby proud. I want to do it all for her, in her memory, as well as helping out other parents. So remember that baby loss awareness is from the 9th to the 15th of October. It'd be lovely if, you know, you could just keep them in mind, you know, maybe like candles, just anything really, just don't let them be forgot. We currently have her in our living room. She is in this little box on a shelf next to her teddy, which we're going to be putting her ashes into, so we can always take her on holiday with us, for example. We're doing her a little memorial garden in our back garden, so she's still got something. We put out flowers every couple of weeks. We light candles every night at 8:15 in the evening. That was okay, she was born in the morning, but that was the time she was born. And you know, it's little changes like that. I say goodnight to her every single night, and Alice, my daughter, is now starting to realise who she is. Like, she's always kissing her picture, saying, "Oh, baby," you know. And I always say, "Where's Eva?" And she goes up to her picture and kisses her. She would have been such an amazing sister. I just wish that she got to have a sibling to play with. You know, Halloween and Christmas is going to be very hard because I know it would have been Eva's first. And I know I should be happy because I've got my other daughter and I'm trying to be happy on that day, but I know I'm going to be hurt and I'm going to be down. All I've got to do is watch this empty space next to my door. Sorry guys. Where my baby should be, but she's not. I'm dreading the first birthday. I really don't know how it's going to be. I know it's going to be really difficult, but I've just got to try and be strong. Obviously I'm still sad about it now, but you know, it's so tough. It's so tough. It really is. We do plan to have another baby soon. We're not sure when it's going to happen. But we will try again sometime soon. It's going to be really tough. I'm going to be constantly paranoid. I'll be going to the hospital probably every day just to be sure. You know, I just don't want that to happen again. I was told by the hospital that it's very, very unlikely that it'll happen again. But you just don't know. Anything can happen. You know, life is an absolute bitch. They say everything happens for a reason, but why should my baby have to die? What was the reason in that? Just thank you to everybody, you know, that has been patient, and if you've made it this far into the video, a big well done, you know. I'm glad and thankful that I do have people that listen to me. I have some still amazing friends, what's left of them. You all know who you are. I don't know what I'd do without you guys, I really don't. I can't believe I've just been spending this whole time crying, really. So that's what's been happening. I hope you guys can understand, you know, that you can forgive me for not being active. I will plan on doing more videos soon. I don't know how that's going to go, but I will try my absolute best, you know. The only thing I can really ask really is just to share the awareness around, make these babies be remembered, including my baby. I don't really know what else to say. If you would like to see a video of her to see what she looked like, please let me know. If anyone else has sadly gone through a loss, whether it be a miscarriage or a stillbirth, you're always more than welcome to come talk to me. Don't ever feel afraid to. Sometimes I feel that talking about it helps a lot, and I'm a part of angel groups, which has been an absolute lifesaver. I don't know what I'd do. So yeah. So if there's anyone out there that needs to talk, who feels alone, please come and talk to me. I'll always listen because I know exactly how you feel and what you're going through. And although stillbirth and baby loss is, you know, an absolute taboo, it shouldn't be. People should be able to talk about them without feeling afraid or worrying about upsetting someone, you know. You know, I get people afraid to talk to me in case I burst out crying, and if I do, you know, that's fine. You know, it's just amazing knowing that they're still keeping my baby in their heart, you know. Soon I plan on having her ashes put into a locket and a charm on my bracelet, so I know that she's always with me forever. I plan on designing a chest piece tattoo because I was going to have her ashes put into the ink, but I read on infections, so I'm just going to have it on my chest so it's close to the heart. That's all I've got to say really. Just remember that baby loss awareness is from the 9th to the 15th of October. Please keep them in your hearts and your mind. Thank you so much for watching this video. I was going to say I hope you enjoyed it, but I can't really say that because it's not really enjoyable. Just thank you so much for sticking by me. I'm really sorry again. Please keep a lookout for the next video that I decide to do. I don't know what it's going to be on, but if you guys have ideas on what I should do, post them down below. You're more than welcome to share this video around just to raise awareness, let other people know about it. You know, tell your friends. Please don't forget to subscribe if you wish to. I'm not sure when my next video will be out, but I hope it will be soon, and I really hope that you guys will stick by me through this. If and when I do fall pregnant again, I was thinking about vlogging at this time, so if you would like to see a vlog on my next pregnancy, fingers crossed, please let me know as well. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope that it's made you more aware of what people go through and how hard it is. And just thank you for watching, really. I hope to see you guys soon, and I'll see you in the next video.